Alright, this video starts out looking out. I'm up above me over the woods across the street from Speedwell Church in Rockingham County, North Carolina. And that lake right there, that body of water, and that little house didn't register on me at first what it was. So we won't talk about it just yet. I'll wait till I get back around to it later. And just show you some scenery and a nice cloudy day, or nice sunshine. It was puffy clouds in there. I enjoyed this video. I like doing it a lot. I'm out by myself. Miss Bly didn't feel like going. She had women's chores to do, and it's the first time I think I've been out by myself with this drone, far enough away. So I'm having fun. Feeling pretty good that day, looking around. And I didn't know it, but I can see the graveyard right there that we filmed from the other one of the other videos, and that's the new Monroe School on the right, where we was parked at, raised up in the air, from right there. I didn't realize you could see them over here. I mean, over there from here. I get it right. I don't know whose little house that is down there, but a barn and a house and a nice looking place too. And that body of water you see off in the distance right there is just part of this other stretch of water that is the headwaters of Lake Reedsville in Reedsville, North Carolina. That lake was built in the late 70s while I worked for the city of Reedsville reading water meters. And the water stank at first. We caught hell for the stinking water, but it was just vegetation rotting in it. And I told everybody it was a dead mule. I got in all kinds of trouble for telling them that. I'll tell a story about Lake Reedsville a little later on, maybe in another video. That's just some beautiful farmland back behind where I'm at. And y'all are going to have to continuously listen to me sniff because my sinuses are all fouled up, have been all my life. That T intersection right there, that road off to the right is, shoot, hang on, let me think about it a minute. Miller Chapel Road. I've hunted all up in them woods, but over here, a mean old doctor on this land, he will let you do it. Down Miller Chapel Road, out of sight there, is a straight stretch long enough that we used to drag race on it, and if I can get permission sometime, I'll get down there and find a place to lift off and tell a little story about that. But we're coming on back around. There used to be a pond, a lake, I guess it still is, in them trees somewhere, and I'm not sure where. I've never been to it but twice when I was little. And I'm not sure coming right in right there if that's that little lake or whether that's part of something bigger. That little lake for fish den didn't seem like it was that far back in the woods, but it could have been. And there's a road just coming in down at the bottom of the screen that I'd forgotten was there. That's a fairly newish road. In the scheme of things, I don't know if I've ever tripped down that road or not, but it was laid out in there so the Richie Riches could build their houses back in them woods. And come on around now, Charles. And that is Lake Hunt. The city used to be the city of Reedsville's only water holding facility. And I fished it out a few times, mostly from the piers. There's a clubhouse where you went in and got your passes, and you could buy your bait and stuff. And that building on this side is where they had the piers, the top, the rental boats. And a little boy could lay down on one of them piers with one of them double bubble gum things, pinch off a piece and drop it in the water and watch the little fishes come up and eat it. I never did see one of them blow a damn bubble over, but they could have if they chewed enough of my bubble gum. I enjoyed watching them. I don't know what that right of way is. It wasn't there years ago. I'll find out maybe one of these days. Just looking around at the trees. They ain't changed color like they're supposed to this year. Nothing is doing just exactly right. Getting a little color. But it's late coming, and I don't think it's ever going to be like it's supposed to be. Come on around here now, and I'll tell you a little bit about this in a minute. Now, I had a couple of friends lived in them trees right there when I was growing up. And I guess they still do. I don't know. I lost track with all my childhood friends. Done it on purpose years ago. I didn't need to remind them of things, and they didn't need to remind me of things. That was an overhead shot of Speedwell Church in the graveyard. I'll tell you more about that in a minute too. I just like this. And coming up right here, there's a story to tell. But I'm just think I'll let it mostly pass and just say I lived in a little house in there part of 1977 and 78. I thought great things would come from that house, but it was just a blip in the road. Wasn't much to it at all, and I'll let it go from there. Now, coming on down and looking at Speedwell Church Hill, Speedwell Hill Church, it's a hill there, whether y'all can see it or not. And I'll pause the video and I'll tell a little story. A couple of them maybe. I once broke a 50-mile-an-hour speedometer on a 20-inch Schwinn 5-speed derailer Stingray bicycle going down that hill. The guy that sold the speedometer to me chewed me out after I told him what it was, but I didn't lie to him. He just placed it and told me not to do that no more, so I didn't do it no more. It scared the crap out of me anyhow. Hitting 50 miles an hour on a little bicycle like that, even as a child. It was a thrill and a scare. You wouldn't believe how much. Now, that building right there used to be a country store. Call them convenience stores now. I worked there one summer, had a ball, flirting with the women, staying and had drunk after work. Didn't have on beer license, on premises drinking license, but they didn't stop us. We'd shoot pool, have a ball, and Miss Bly never made it to that store. If she had her, it might have changed events later on for both of us. But that's another one of them what ifs. And you can't live on what ifs, you got to live on what is. Now, coming on back around, just look at the trees a little bit. There's some beautiful trees. I love trees. There's a little high up shot of Speedwell Presbyterian Church. It is the oldest church in Rockingham County. And it's been a sanctuary to me for once or twice. I went to church there as a child once or twice, but as a grown-up, semi-grown-up, I never did really grow up. You know, they didn't used to lock church doors around here. They were sanctuaries. And this poor fool had been coming home and about made it as far as he could make it a few times. Pulled back in there in a car on a motorcycle, tired. I never did ride a motorcycle drunk, but I was drunk enough driving a car. I had the car a little bit, walk around there, take my sleeping bag. I kept a sleeping bag with me when I was on the bike or the car, either one. Go into church and spend the rest of the night, whatever time it was. Set me a little clock. Kept that with me too. Get up just before sunup so nobody would hardly see me. And cops wouldn't mess with you if you was parked in the church. So I'd do that. That's not the original church. The original church burnt down. That one was built later on, and there's a little graveyard. I'll tell you a little bit about it in a minute. There's a sign telling you a little bit about the church, and there's a historical marker. Now, I'm by myself, and I'm flying more or less behind me. That was quite an experience. But buried underneath that tree right yonder is one of the two greatest men I ever known. The one under that tree is Claude Allen Davis Sr., my daddy's brother. He died when I was about 11 years old, 1966. He was a great man. None finer. Never did get to know him real well. Wish I had. Well, wishes was fit and all that crap. Now we'll swing around back over here and let y'all have a look at the rest of the graveyard. And I know some of these people, some of them I don't. And there's a historical marker. And a little better view. I'm gonna go right over there. Just get over there. Hopefully y'all can read it when I get through. And after I saw this, I'll see you can. When I get through. But like I said, I'm flying behind me, watching the screen. Because I didn't want to stand up, turn the chair around and all that crap. So I just doing my best to get over there watching the view screen. I'm not quite as close as it looks, but I'm pretty darn close. Y'all can read that. And I turn around, and I didn't realize I was that close to that thing right there, but I was. And I'll let this video go right here. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I surely did. Don't forget to love one another.